Good game. Fuck off. You suck. Good game. Blow me. You're never gonna be as good as me. Take a height, fucker. Four down and 12 to go, baby. The Ducks sweep the Calgary Flames. Right from the get-go, you could tell the Ducks could smell blood, and they had no intention of sending this series back to Anaheim. They wanted to finish this right then and there. Not much action in the game early on until about the 6.5 minute mark when Patrick Eaves puts one on net from the far board, and it goes right through Elliott, the softest goal of the game, and 1-0 Ducks, baby. Woo! And I'm pretty sure even Patrick Eaves couldn't believe that one went in. And it felt like before the puck had even crossed the line, Calgary was already motioning to the bench to pull Elliott and get Chad Johnson into the game. I mean, just imagine what's going through the minds of the Ducks players right now. 6 minutes in, you go up 1-0, and Calgary's so desperate, they yank their starting goaltender. And sure enough, the Ducks could smell blood with Johnson in the game now, and they wanted to test him right away. And about 2 minutes after the opening goal, Corey Perry's leading the rush up the middle of the ice with Rickard Rakell and Nate Thompson following. Corey Perry with a beautiful drop pass to his left to Rickard Rakell, who takes the shot, and Nate Thompson's right there for the rebound, tips it in, and the Alaskan Assassin puts us up 2-0. You can't wait. So at this point now, we're up 2-0, about 8 minutes into the game. I am hyped. I want the Ducks to keep their foot on the throttle and absolutely stomp Calgary. This is Sparta! Now Calgary gets a power play late in the first period, and John Gibson comes up huge. Gibby picks up save after save after save, blocking everything, pretty much just laying flat down on the ice and saying, "Come at me." Now into the second period, the Ducks kind of fell into their old routine of protecting the lead and not really attacking. So it was at this point Calgary was pretty much throwing everything they could at the Ducks, trying to get some sort of scoring opportunity and try to get back into this game. Calgary finally got on the board with about 4 minutes left in the second when Monahan, have you heard that name before in this series? Calgary throws everything they have at the net, and Monahan eventually picks up the second or third rebound, I believe, and just tips it in. And there are 4 Ducks there in front of the net. You have Cogliano, you have Shaw, you have Holzer, and Manson. Yet there were still 2 Flames in front of all of them. How do you do this? That is something that Anaheim is seriously going to have to clean up going into the second round. Now, shortly after the Monahan goal, the Ducks get a power play, and Corey Perry has a grade A chance. He receives a pass and pretty much just sits there in front of Johnson, waiting for him to make the first move. And finally, Perry takes that shot, and it just misses. He bangs it off the crossbar, and it goes up and out. And the Ducks really missed out on a huge opportunity there to put this up to a 2-goal lead yet again. However, during that play, Calgary committed another penalty, and the Ducks went right back onto the power play. Unfortunately for the Ducks power play, they really couldn't put it together and get a goal, so we stayed at 2-1. And then for the remainder of the third period, it was pretty much the John Gibson show. You honestly can't say that Calgary didn't put up a fight, though. They outshot, out-hit, and even won the face-off battle against the Ducks. Calgary threw everything at Anaheim in the third period, and in the final couple of minutes, I'm not going to lie, my ass was pretty puckered up. I was nervous. I had no idea what was going to happen. But as he's been doing all series long and making me continue to eat crow, Ryan Getzlaf comes up with a huge effort to break up a pass and works the puck down the lane and ends up hitting the empty net to put the game out of reach at 3-1 with about 7 seconds left in the game and sending Anaheim off to the second round. And aside from a few moments here and there, I thought the defense played a phenomenal game, led by Josh Manson and Kevin Bieksa. Still really weird to say Kevin Bieksa and good game in the same sentence. But it's true, man. You really got to give them props. Kevin Bieksa and Josh Manson have been dominating in this series, aside from a couple of, brain farts here and there. But they're getting it done. And with Fowler and Vatanen both set to return for round 2, you honestly have to wonder who is going to sit. Because a few months ago, Kevin Bieksa would have been named number 1 on the list, followed closely by Corbinian Holzer. But at this point, you gotta give Bieksa his props, and there is no way he's getting benched. So my money is definitely on Corbinian Holzer. That's kind of the obvious pick. And most likely, young Brandon Montour. Now, Montour had a great series, don't get me wrong. But when you got a guy like Shea Theodore who's putting up 5 points in the series, you can't take that hot hand off the ice. Now, Montour had a great series, so it's so hard to say we need to bench Brandon Montour. But with our depth, you gotta do it. Now, there is no way I'm sitting Shea Theodore right now with the offensive production he's putting through for the Ducks. Sure, he's had a few defensive mishaps here and there, but honestly, that offensive production definitely outweighs it. And with a series against San Jose or Edmonton to follow, we're going to need all the offense we can get. The Ducks are seriously in such a great position heading into round 2. They get about a full week of rest. They get San Jose and Edmonton at least 2 more games against each other to beat the hell out of each other. Oh yeah. And to put more salt on the wound of our second round opponent, we're getting Cam and Sammy back as well. Now, usually I'm a bit of a pessimist when it comes to the Ducks. When you watch them lose 4 straight Game 7s at home, that tends to happen. But damn it, let me tell you, I am fully on board with this Ducks team. But damn it, if you try to take this away from me right now, I will have Nick Ritchie show up at your front door. With the way things are going right now, you feel like deep down that the Ducks are set to make a long run this year, and hell, maybe even win that second cup. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. We still have a lot of business to take care of. We have 12 more games to win. We have a huge second round series against Edmonton or San Jose coming up. And now on to my 3 stars of the game. Starting off with number 3, the Alaskan Assassin, Nate Thompson. Nate Thompson was all over the ice and making himself very noticeable in Game 4. He was strong on the forecheck, putting in all the effort, and it eventually paid off with that goal early in the first. Seems like ages ago where everybody wanted Thompson gone, right? And my second star of the game goes to We Are All Josh Manson. The defenseman racked up 20 minutes on the ice, including over 3 minutes on the PK. And finally, the number 1 star of the game, how can you not go with John Gibson? 36 saves on the night, pretty much bailing the Ducks out in the second and third periods with save after save after save, including some really tense moments. If only we had Frederik Andersen. Am I right? Overall, what can you say about this series against Calgary? Very physical and very emotional. I think most Ducks fans knew this would be a short series, maybe 5 or 6 games at the most, but I don't think many of us really thought it would be a sweep. Overall, though, looking back on the series and who really stood out, how can you not go with Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, Rickard Rakell, Jakob Silfverberg, Shea Theodore, and of course John Gibson, and Kevin Bieksa. That's still so damn weird to say. For the first time in a couple of postseasons, our star players actually rose to the occasion and got it done. We got scoring from everyone, top to bottom in the lineup. Everybody contributed in their own way. To roll out 4 lines day in and day out and know and have trust in them to be able to score and give you production and not screw up. That is huge, and that is going to play a huge factor going into the future series. So now the Ducks look to kick back for about a week and rest up and see how the rest of the first round plays out to see who their second round opponent is. And if Nashville takes care of business against Chicago, the Ducks will lock in home ice advantage through the entire Western Conference playoffs. Alright, so that's going to do it for my Game 4 recap. Again, the Ducks take down the Flames 3-1 and move on to the second round to take on San Jose or Edmonton. That series tied 2-2 currently, headed into Game 5 tonight. Alright, so you guys know what to do. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe, and be on the lookout for my Angels vs. Astros 4-game series recap, which should be out tomorrow night. And then we have a few days off, of course, until Game 1 of the second round begins, probably next Wednesday or Thursday. And one last thing before I go, I want to go ahead and give a huge shout out and send my best wishes to Ducks sideline reporter Julie Stewart-Binks. Unfortunately, last night was her last game with the Ducks, and she will be joining ESPN full-time with their soccer coverage. So thank you again, Julie, for 3 years, and best wishes. So thanks again for tuning in, folks, and remember, keep painting it orange out there, because the Ducks are not doing it on the ice.